Hi guys, Dr. Lester here, and it has been brought to my attention at the last second that I missed a few topics, so I'm going to do 1 or 2 more videos to add to this blood sugar series. So I do want to reiterate there are things that affect blood sugar that are not directly your diet. So your diet might be on point. Kudos to you. That is amazing, and you've done a lot of the hard work. Beautiful. Now, there are other things that can fuel this. So if you are still experiencing high blood sugar issues now, despite that you don't eat sugar or you don't eat a lot of carbs, then there are other things. So we're going to look at a couple of things. We're going to look at parasites. Parasites are a huge thing because you're looking at system inflammation that is happening, that is consistently eating away at your system and causing prolonged inflammation. This type of inflammation can look like blood sugar numbers that are consistently high for long periods of time. They don't seem to resolve, and then you start seeing the compensations that we see with blood pressure and cholesterol and whatnot. So parasites can definitely start leading you along that same pathway. Another one will be stress. Stress is greatly underappreciated or underrepresented as a problem, but it is probably the most pervasive minus the actual food that we eat. So stress is a huge one. And because your system is in this fight or flight that we've kind of talked about. So it is important for you to manage stress appropriately in order to bring down blood sugar. Now, stress has 2 other parts to it that are kind of like separate parts. One of these parts is trauma. So this is the part that I personally have to kind of unwind. If you followed us on some of our podcast stuff, you might have heard some of the actual full story that I have there. But trauma can really hold on to weight and blood sugar and those kinds of issues, and it's because your body is stuck in this fight or flight state because your part of your body is still constantly re-experiencing this trauma. So it is important for you to emotionally do the work to heal, for you to resolve some of those issues. Now, I can attest that as I have been doing some of that work, it has made a huge difference, and I have seen my systemic inflammation go down. I have seen my blood sugar numbers go down, and I have seen my pain go down. But it is still I still have work to do as part of the problem. So trauma is a huge one, okay? And the other part of this that we see is sleep. We talked a little bit about this when we talked about cortisol and some of the stress and some of the foods that you eat and stuff like that. All of those can contribute to skews that affect your blood sugar because you are, again, having trouble regulating this fight or flight, right? I am stuck in this go, 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 and I can't get into rest and digest, so we can't take down the blood sugar. So stress, trauma, and sleep all kind of go together. They're super important for regulating blood sugar across the board, and pain management and weight management and really just everything. The last part is, of course, going to be hormones. We've talked a little bit about that and how some other things will fuel, like the problem is maybe you had a hysterectomy, and so now your hormones are imbalanced and it's fueling that estrogen testosterone imbalance, which happens to be fueling your blood sugar. So there are things like that. So I just wanted to reiterate that there are a lot of different ways that blood sugar is affected, and those are just a handful of them. Those are the primary ones, and of course your diet. So I wanted to address those, but there is a whole lot of components to this, and if you can find a way to de-stress your system, to try and eat well and be kind to yourself, and to get some sleep and some motion, you're going to do a lot better. You're going to see a lot of resolution in a lot of ways if you can just try and resolve those couple things. I hope that helps, guys. Thanks.